Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're taking a trip to Turkey, a country that absolutely blew me away with its incredible history, vibrant culture, and of course, the amazing food. But before you book those flights, I'm sharing 10 things I wish I knew before my first visit. These are my personal tips and insights to help you make the most of your trip, especially if you're a first-timer. From navigating the currency and local customs to discovering hidden gems and avoiding common tourist traps, I've got you covered. So, if you're ready to experience the magic of Turkey, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and let's dive right in. Alright, let's kick things off with everyone's favorite topic, money. The official currency in Turkey is the Turkish lira, and trust me, it's a good idea to have some local currency on hand. While many places, especially in big cities, accept credit cards, you'll find that smaller shops, local markets, and even some taxis prefer cash. Now, when it comes to exchanging your money, I'd recommend avoiding those airport kiosks as they tend to have higher fees. Instead, look for exchange bureaus in the city center or withdraw cash from ATMs, which are widely available. Just a heads up, some ATMs might charge a small transaction fee, so it's always a good idea to check with your bank beforehand. And here's a little tip to avoid any confusion. Turkish lira uses commas where we would typically use decimals, and vice versa. So 10,50 TL is actually 10.50 lira, not 10,000. Don't worry, you'll get used to it. Finally, let's talk about scams. Unfortunately, like any popular tourist destination, Turkey has its fair share. One common scam is shortchanging, especially when you're dealing with large denominations. Always double-check your change and don't be afraid to count it out in front of the vendor. Another thing to watch out for is taxi drivers taking the long route, especially if you're new in town. To avoid this, try using ride-hailing apps or agree on a fare beforehand. Let's chat about communication in Turkey. While you can get by with English in touristy areas and big cities, knowing a few basic Turkish phrases can go a long way. It shows respect for the local culture and can lead to more authentic interactions. Start with greetings like merhaba for hello and teşekkür ederim for thank you. Trust me, a little effort goes a long way. If you're ever in a bind, don't hesitate to use Google Translate or download a translation app. It can be a lifesaver, especially when ordering food or asking for directions. Speaking of directions, if you need help finding your way around, locals are generally friendly and helpful. Don't be shy to ask for assistance, even if there's a language barrier. A simple point to a location on a map or showing a picture on your phone can do wonders. Now let's talk about something that often comes up, dress code. Turkey is a predominantly Muslim country, but it's also quite modern and cosmopolitan, especially in larger cities. In most places, you can dress as you would in any other European country. However, it's important to be mindful and respectful of local customs, particularly when visiting religious sites like mosques. Both men and women should dress modestly, covering their shoulders and knees. Women are also usually required to cover their heads with a scarf. Don't worry, most mosques provide scarves at the entrance, but it's always a good idea to carry one with you just in case. When it comes to footwear, be prepared to remove your shoes before entering a mosque. It's a sign of respect, and it's customary to leave your shoes at the entrance. Navigating a new city can be daunting, but thankfully, Turkey has a pretty efficient and affordable public transportation system, especially in Istanbul. The city is well connected by a network of trams, buses, and ferries, making it easy to get around without breaking the bank. One of the most important things to know is the Istanbul card. It's a rechargeable travel card that gives you access to all public transportation, including the metro, trams, buses, and even ferries. You can purchase and top up your Istanbul card at kiosks located at major transportation hubs and stations. When using public transport, be prepared for crowds, especially during peak hours. It's all part of the experience. If you're short on time or prefer a more direct route, taxis are readily available and relatively inexpensive. Just make sure the driver uses the meter or agree on a fare before you start your journey. Let's be honest, one of the best parts of traveling is experiencing the local cuisine, and Turkey is a foodie's paradise. From savory kebabs and pide, oh that's Turkish pizza, to sweet baklava and Turkish delight, your taste buds are in for a real treat. When dining out, you'll notice that Turkish meals often start with a selection of misis, small plates meant for sharing. Don't be afraid to try a bit of everything. And if you're a tea lover like me, you're in luck. Tea, or K as it's called in Turkish, is an integral part of Turkish culture and is served everywhere. often in small, tulip-shaped glasses. Now, when it comes to dining etiquette, there are a few things to keep in mind. It's considered polite to finish everything on your plate, so start with small portions and ask for more if you're still hungry. Also, it's customary to wait for everyone to be served before you start eating. Tipping can be a bit of a minefield when traveling, so let's clear up any confusion about tipping practices in Turkey. In general, tipping is customary, but not mandatory. It's a way to show your appreciation for good service. In restaurants, it's common to leave a tip of around 10% of the bill, especially if you're happy with the service. You can leave the tip in cash on the table or round up the bill. For taxi rides, rounding up the fare to the nearest lira is usually sufficient. When it comes to hotels, you can tip bellhops a few lira for carrying your luggage and housekeeping staff a few lira per day for cleaning your room. Remember, tipping is always at your discretion, and the amount is entirely up to you. Let's talk about safety. Turkey is generally a safe country to travel in, but like any destination, it's always wise to be aware of your surroundings and take precautions to protect yourself from petty crime and scams. As I mentioned earlier, always be mindful of your belongings, especially in crowded areas like markets and tourist attractions. It's a good idea to keep your valuables secure and out of sight. If you're traveling alone, especially as a woman, be prepared for some unwanted attention or stares. While it's usually harmless, it's best to ignore it and walk confidently. If you ever feel unsafe or uncomfortable, don't hesitate to seek assistance from the police or locals. Staying connected while traveling is easier than ever, and Turkey has a good internet infrastructure. You'll find Wi-Fi readily available in most hotels, cafes, and restaurants. However, if you need to be connected on the go or want to avoid relying on public Wi-Fi, getting a local SIM card is a good option. You can purchase SIM cards from mobile operators like Turkcell, Vodafone, and Turk Telecom. They're relatively inexpensive and offer various data packages to suit your needs. To buy a SIM card, you'll need your passport, as registration is required. Once you have your SIM card, topping up is easy and can be done online, through mobile apps, or at kiosks and convenience stores. Having a local SIM card not only keeps you connected, but also comes in handy for using navigation apps, translating languages, and sharing your adventures on social media. So, when is the best time to visit Turkey? Well, it really depends on your preferences and what you're hoping to experience. Turkey has a diverse climate, with distinct seasons that offer something different for every traveler. Spring, which is April to May, and autumn from September to October, are considered the shoulder seasons and are generally the best times to visit. The weather is pleasantly warm, the crowds are smaller, and you'll get to enjoy the country's natural beauty in full bloom. Summer, from June to August, is peak tourist season, especially in coastal areas. Expect hot, sunny weather, crowded beaches, and higher prices. If you don't mind the heat and crowds, summer can be a great time to soak up the sun and enjoy the vibrant atmosphere. Winter, from November to March, is the low season, with colder temperatures and occasional snowfall, especially in inland regions. However, it's a great time to experience Turkey's winter wonderland, visit historical sites without the crowds, and enjoy cozy evenings with Turkish coffee and delights. While Turkey is home to iconic landmarks like the Hagia Sophia and the Blue Mosque, there's so much more to discover beyond the typical tourist trail. One of my favorite hidden gems is the city of Mardin, located in southeastern Turkey. This ancient city is perched on a hilltop, offering breathtaking views of the Mesopotamian plains. Its well-preserved architecture, winding streets, and rich history make it a truly captivating destination. Another off-the-beaten-path gem is the Sümele Monastery, carved into the side of a cliff in northeastern Turkey. This Greek Orthodox monastery dates back to the 4th century and is a testament to the region's diverse cultural heritage. Reaching it requires a scenic hike through lush forests, making the experience even more rewarding. And there you have it, my 10 essential tips for anyone planning a trip to Turkey. I hope you found this video helpful and that it's got you excited for your own Turkish adventure. If you have any questions or tips of your own to share, drop them in the comments below. I love hearing from you guys. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss out on future travel adventures. Join our community of explorers. Subscribe now and I'll see you in the next video. Until next time, happy travels.